Okay, so hello everyone. So I'm Sylvie. I'm the director of the San Diego French American Chamber of Commerce. Thank you all for attending this online conference. So today the purpose of this webinar is to talk about the V.I.E program and more precisely about the benefits of this program. So Business France and my partner the San Francisco French American Chamber of Commerce, we decided to organize this webinar because we noticed that this program is not really well known or even forgotten by a lot of companies since COVID has hit. So the V.I.E program is managed by Business France, a public French organization, and today we have the honor to welcome Melanie from Business France, and she will describe the V.I.E program more in details. So, the webinar will end at noon 30, and Melanie will do the presentation. The presentation will last like 30 minutes, and we will have a little of time for the question at the end of the webinar. So, Melanie, I leave you the floor.
Thank you very much. Hello all, welcome today to this webinar. So we'll go through a few things about the program that may be important details that you'll need to see if you can participate and use this formula to hire young people from France. We'll leave a few minutes at the end to answer some questions. So the V.I.E program, just to remind everyone, is an acronym for three French words: Volontaire International en Entreprise, which is a government-run program and has been so for about 20 years. It's an inheritance of the draft system that there was in France for the military service back in the day. So today, this is open to young people from the ages of 18 to the age of 28, and I will give you some further details just now. So first, to introduce Business France. So Business France is a French agency, a French government agency, whose role is to help French companies set up shop abroad, essentially. We help them with their international plan of action in terms of finding contacts wherever they want to go, and also with the V.I.E program to help them recruit young talent and be able to grow their companies abroad. There are three types of companies that can participate in the V.I.E program. Two that are sort of the classic types, and I'll speak about the third type last. So the first one is to have a subsidiary or to be a subsidiary of a French company in the US. If your company is a subsidiary of a French company, then you can participate in the program. You can use the French headquarters to send VIEs abroad. The second case is if you are a foreign company, so an American company in this case, or otherwise, and you have a subsidiary in France. In that case, you can use your subsidiary to send VIEs abroad into your HQ. The third case is if you're an entrepreneur français à l'étranger. In this particular case, that's a little bit more specific. You need to go through an association that was created last year. So if you are in that case and you want more details about that, please feel free to speak with either Anne-Emmanuelle or Sylvie or myself, and we will give you the information pertaining to that particular case. It's a little bit intricate, and I'm not going to get into that today. So essentially, the idea behind this is to find young talents, which often are difficult to source, and to be able to source them from all over Europe. So it's important to know that the V.I.E program is not just for French people. It's open to all European nationals. What is going to decide whether or not somebody can participate in the V.I.E program is the host country's immigration laws. In particular for the US, there are no specifics for participation in the J1 program. Young people from all over the world can participate, in contrast to Canada, for example, that doesn't have necessarily treaties with every single country. We have all sectors that are represented. It's important to note this because some people sometimes think that the V.I.E program is only for certain types of sectors, but really we have people that work in all sectors, whether it be industry, whether it be marketing or sales, whatever it is, there's always going to be potential to find a candidate that will be able to fill the job description that you're looking for. This is just to let you know that we have 5 people in our team. Our director is in Toronto. His name is Omar Jandra. I myself am in Montreal, and we have 3 people in our team in the United States. 1 person is in Chicago, Rachel Geistfeld, and 2 people in New York, one of which is only taking care of all the administrative aspects, that is Chantal Dalencourt. So if you have a VIE currently or are about to receive a VIE, you may have been in contact with her, as she is in charge of making sure that you have all the information about your VIE before they arrive. This is a little breakdown of how much a VIE costs. Obviously, if your company is interested, like I said before, you'll come and speak with either myself or anybody from the FACC, and they will be able to orient you towards, we have a web page where you can put together a quote pertaining to your particular case. But just to give you a little bit of an idea, the VIE receives not a salary, but a stipend each month. This stipend is composed of 2 parts. You have a base amount, which is of 723.99 €, and then you have a geographic part. For the US in particular, we have 6 different geographic zones that are identified. And so the amount that you'll have to pay per month will be determined by where your address, where you are located. There is also a management administrative fee that Business France charges the company in France every month to send out that money and manage the VIE. That amount is between 248 euros and 481 euros a month. And what will determine which amount you'll be paying will be the gross annual income of your company in France. So whether if you make less than 50 million a year, you'll be paying 248, between 50 and 200 million, you'll be paying 350 euros in sum. And the last case is for 200 million and over. You must pay for a ticket, a plane ticket to and from the US for the candidate as soon as that person is chosen. You also have to pay for the visa fees, which I will detail in a little bit. And you have to pay for 150 kilos of luggage. Most VIEs don't necessarily use up all of that, but it's important to note that that's what's promised to them before they leave. Like I said earlier, they don't have to be only French nationals. They can be European, 18 to 28 years old. Most of them are graduates. Most candidates have master's degrees and over. And like I said, there are a very diverse panel of different types of professions that are represented by the program. A lot of companies are going to choose the candidates internally in France or elsewhere in their company. That's actually a great way to find somebody. It's somebody who's going to already know your company, will already know how things work. That may be a good avenue. And in the US in particular, it's important to note that although the VIE program entitles candidates to a 24-month assignment, for the US specifically, the maximum time allotted is 18 months. There are 2 types of visas that are used, which dictate that amount of time. I will talk about that in a minute. As you may have understood, it's a pretty beneficial formula in general. You have to remember also that the company in France that is sending, so your HQ or your subsidiary, will not have to pay any social charges, any taxes, none of that. Everything is exempt. So that's actually very important. And the 248 to 481 euros I was talking about earlier, that includes also full medical coverage for your VIE. So you don't have to pay for medical insurance for them. That's also quite important, as it can get quite expensive in the US. So here there are details about the types of visas. It's important to know that the Department of State outsources everything that's visa related with the J1 program in particular. So we participate in the J1 program, the exchange visitor program, the J1 visa. There are 12 subcategories to the exchange program, and we use two. We use the intern or the trainee. The intern visa allots 12 months maximum, and the trainee gives you up to 18 months. Obviously, it'll depend on your candidate's resume and what kind of work experience they have to see if they're eligible for one or the other. We work with 3 sponsors. We work with the FACC New York. We work with CIEE through their French representation parenthèse, and we also work with Odyssey International. So those are the 3 sponsors that we work with. It's not a question, it's not exclusive. You can also choose your own sponsor if you choose, but we have an agreement with these 3 sponsors, which may give you special benefits. So in general, it's important to keep in mind that you'll have to have at least one American, so US citizen or green card working in your company in order to host a VIE. Up until the end of the year, if you decide to sign up for a VIE and your company does all the paperwork before mid-December, your company may be eligible for a special check that was put together by the government in order to help with getting the program back up and running. So depending on where your company is located in France, you may also get extra regional help. All of that is very detailed information that we can give you specifically for your case when you contact us. These are a few testimonials, but apart from that, I'm pretty much done. Are there any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
It's not very clear for me how to find the candidates if we do not know, anyone in France, and then is there a list?
Yep.
Or
So we have a platform called V.I.E, and this platform has 2 accesses. There's one for the company and there's one for the candidates. So candidates sign up on this platform. We currently have about 40,000 resumes on there that are people that are ready to go. And then the company on the other side will also have their own profile and will put their job postings on that website. And then the candidates will be able to access those job postings and let each company know if they're interested. So that's how that works. So once you've told us that you're interested in taking a VIE, we discuss with your company in France through our sales team over there, and they put together the profile of the company online in order for them to be able to post the job postings. Were there any questions?
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions concerning?
Just FYI, just put the link to the website in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
Is there a limit to how many VIEs we can host at the same time?
That's really something that you need to see once you've chosen your sponsor. That's a discussion to have with your sponsor specifically, because depending on each sponsor, they have requirements of a certain number of, like I said, Americans or green card employees. Some sponsors are more strict than others. Really depends on the sponsor with whom you'll be working.
Okay.
For Business France, from the Business France point of view, there will be a limit of number of VIEs you can send, depending on the number of employees you have in France. So there are two, your question is twofold.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
Wow, it's that easy of a program that everyone understands it very easily. Now it seems like everyone has got their answers from the presentation itself.
Well, and Emmanuel, I'll be sharing this presentation with you, and if ever you want to maybe send it out to anybody who may reach out needing more information.
Yep. And again, as we'll just point out, Sylvia and myself, and I think Martin from New York is also on this webinar, that as the French American Chamber of Commerce, we are one of the 3 official sponsors, and we certainly encourage our members to contact us if they need help, or if, at the beginning of the process, and we can help them out and link them to Business France, or for the sponsoring of their J1.
And I just put up here the generic email that my team and I manage. And so if you have any questions, feel free to write to us at this address, and one of us will answer you as soon as we can.
There is one more question in the chat.
Yep.
The question is from Charlene Pham. How do we contact VIE if we are interested in this program?
So if you're interested in the program as a host company, you need to speak with Anne-Emmanuelle and her team, or Sylvie. If it's about the VIE program specifically, more specifically, if you want to have a candidate, then you would come through me. You would contact me through the address on the screen, and I'll be able to give you more information.
And again, if you're a member of one of the French American Chambers of Commerce, please reach out. We're here to help. We're here to redirect you to Business France when needed, or to accompany you, or to explain the process again. So really just don't hesitate and reach out.
And I see there is one last question from Paola. What is the process if we want to hire the candidate once the program has ended?
Okay, so that's actually a very important question. So depending again on the sponsor that you're working with, there's going to be different guidelines, but generally speaking, the VIE cannot remain after the end of their J1. They need to go back to their country for a period of time, and that period of time will be determined by your sponsor. I know that at the beginning of the year, the FACC made that 3 months, so 90 days minimum. So your candidate leaves and can only come back after a 90-day period. This used to be about a year, so this is actually quite good. But if you have any questions during the VIE's assignment about what kind of visas you can look at, you can also reach back out to us, and we'll be able to maybe help you figure that out.
I have a piggyback question off of that one. So let's say we have a VIE candidate, they work for us, and then the program ends, and then they go back to the home for 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
In order to initiate them to become a full-time employee, do we just work directly with them and our legal counsel to get them the paperwork, or do we have to go through Business France?
No, once they're finished their VIE assignment, it's really up to you to do whatever's necessary to have them back here.
Okay, thank you.
And again, on that matter, we have, if your company does not have legal counsel on immigration, the French American Chambers of Commerce do have a network of immigration lawyers that can help out or answer your questions for you, the company, or for the candidate for that matter. So again, don't hesitate to reach out. And just know that the rules of immigration are ever changing. So what you knew from last year or 2 years ago, or even 4 months ago, might not be accurate. So whatever happens, don't forget to check out the immigration rules if you do want to hire that VIE afterwards. Any other questions? Okay, I think that might be it. So I would say in summary that it's a great program. It's very easy. It's quite affordable, I would say, compared to costs that you can find, especially in California. There's a great deal of candidates on Business France website in that for that VIE program. So again, if you have any questions, please reach out to Business France or to the French American Chambers of Commerce. We'll be happy to help you, but just know that it's a very quick and easy program. We can also put you in contact maybe with, if you have questions or concerns with companies who have gone through, because hundreds and even thousands of companies have probably used this program in the past years. This is not a new program. It's been going on for years. So there are testimonials, there are, so really don't hesitate and try it out. I guess that will be the end of our program, unless there's a very last minute question, but I don't see anything in the chat.
Thank you very much for having me. And like I said, feel free to reach out through our generic email address, and we'll give you whatever information you need as soon as we can.
Thank you very much, Melanie, for taking the time.
No problem.
To explain everything.
No problem. Have a nice day.
Oh, and to answer a last question, you will get the slides very quickly afterwards.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.